we are talking with Em, who is a super navigator. She can navigate her way back to anywhere if she's been there once. She wishes she was from Hungary and hates tomatoes, so much so that she has her pizza without tomato sauce. In elementary school, she used to wash cars for ice cream money so she could get her favorite jamoca almond fudge every day. Today, she's sharing about her trip to Patagonia. So welcome.
Hi, Em. So we're going to start our timer for 7 minutes. So can you just start us in with what made you choose to go to the Patagonia?
So I travel a lot with my twin sister. We make good travel buddies, mostly because we sort of hate each other, but like the same things, and we're okay sharing rooms. We semi-travel in the hostel state, but I'm now too old to want to stay in rooms with other people, so we do private rooms in the hostel, but we still like the atmosphere where you get to meet people, and they are cheaper than hotels, but they're also in central locations so you can go travel. And so Patagonia was chosen because my sister really wanted to go to Antarctica. The problem was she gets severely boat sick and seasick, and she refused to take any kind of drugs. And so the compromise was, let's go see Patagonia, see penguins, see glaciers. And I sort of threatened that she could go by herself on a boat, but I refused to go and pay a ton of money if she was just going to throw up the whole time. So we're eventually going to go back when she realizes she wants to take drugs. But how I do it is I'm a huge planner, but researcher. I plan things that you can do, but we don't go by everything that we plan. It's just like, these are the main things you can see in each country that we travel to. If we go in this route, it's the simplest way to do it. But we do also fly by the seat of our pants, where if somebody says, hey, there's this really cool penguin sanctuary down the street for 2 hours, drive there on a bus, we would do that. So we we went to Patagonia. Patagonia is at the southern tip of Argentina, Chile. And it's also, Ushuaia is the most point of Patagonia. It's the lowest point in the US. And basically you do Ushuaia and then you hit Antarctica. So that's the lowest part of the world you can possibly get to. It is an amazing experience. So we started in the top of Argentina, and then we worked our way down through the coast, the Ushuaia, and then up Chile, up to Santiago. And then my favorite parts, I think, was definitely the penguins. So I wanted to see penguins, and then what I had assumed penguins is everything you see where they're on ice and they're swimming around. But no, penguins live in dirt, and they build their little homes inside dirt caves and gravel. And those are the ones that we saw. I'm pretty sure in different parts of the world, like maybe Greenland or something where there's penguins, it isn't ice, but this was penguins on dirt. And it was very cold and windy to get there on boats, and it rained a lot. But they're really cute. And then penguins also mate for life, which is amazing. And they each have a different call. So they call their significant other, and they can hear it up to miles to come and find them. So they're like, they scream and go, dinner time, and the little penguin comes and finds them. So it's pretty cute.
Oh my gosh, wow. So it sounds like the penguins were kind of your favorite thing, but were there other places that were your favorites for taking pictures, or you wish you had your camera?
So we did a trek on Mount Fitzroy, which is in El Chatín. It's a small place in Argentina near the Chile border. And it's this huge mountain peak. So every time we travel, we have this weird thing where we want to see the sunrise on a mountain. Yeah. And it doesn't matter if we've been hiking for ages to prepare for it, or if we're severely out of shape, which is most of the time, we'll still go and hike a mountain to see sunrise. So Fitzroy was that hike, and it is a 20-kilometer trip. And we ended up there, we were supposed to have 2.5 days in this cute, amazing little backpacker town in the middle of the mountains, but we ended up getting stuck in Ushuaia due to a strike on the planes and couldn't get out, and had to take an 18-hour bus, which severely limited our time. So we ended up with like 23 hours there. And so we're like, do we really want to hike 10.5 miles, or do we want to like chill and see this adorable town? But the whole point was we wanted to go there. Luckily, we stayed in this adorable hostel with a really nice reception who told us about this guy who you pay him, I think it was like $10, and he drives you to the back end, up the mountain at Mount Fitzroy to the back end, and then you hike 10 kilometers to the mountain, and then see a little bit of the mountain, then 10 kilometers down the mountain back to town, instead of hiking 10 up and 10 down.
Okay.
And the first part of the mountain was amazing because it's through lush forest, and this mountain is supposed to be super windy, and sometimes it can snow, and it can be hot in the valley, but it can be really, really cold up there, and half the time it rains, you can't see the top, so it's always wishy-washy if you get up there. We ended up with like perfect weather. We got there, you could see the lake, you could see the, we missed seeing the top of the mountain because that was under fog, but you could still see the lake. It wasn't snowing, it wasn't raining. And then on the back end when we went down, it's like a mountain. It's like going down a hill. And if we had to start going up that at like 2 a.m, we would have died. So
Oh my gosh.
I lucked out that we got to like drive to the back end and walk down. So if you ever go there, I highly recommend doing that.
Okay.
And then my other favorite thing is there's this place in Chile. It's called Marlborough Caves. And it's in Puerto Tranquilo, which is a very, very small town. And when I Googled ahead of time, I wanted to find us a place to stay. They literally have one place, and it's a cabin that you can stay, that you can book online. But when we actually got there, there's a billion different hostels in people's homes. And they literally just stand outside, and it's like 2 cents to stay here, or $5 to stay there. And it was like,
Oh my
we
god.
paid $100 for this cabin. They're so paranoid that we weren't gonna have a place to stay.
Right.
And it's like 4 dirt roads and a bunch of little homes on a lake. And then there's this water, and you have to get their timing. So our timing to get there, it was too windy, and we literally rented a car 5 hours away, drove down there on the dustiest, bumpiest road that curves along, and it was really pretty, but we were just like a little terrified we were gonna go off the edge.
Yeah.
To the little town, and then we're like, okay, we're gonna see the caves, and then the next morning we're gonna drive back because we have to catch a plane.
Oh
Right.
my gosh.
And so, but we get there and they're like, no, it's too windy, we can't go out. The boats will flip. Like, they're like, well, you've come back in the morning at like 7, we can see if it's calmer waters and you can go. So we're like spending this whole time like, we drove all this time, I'm freaking out, oh god, and then we get there in the morning like, okay, the waters are a little bit calmer, we can go out, which was good, but I hate water. So I'm about the whole time like hanging on, and it was not calm waters.
Oh, it wasn't.
It was calm until you got out there. But getting out there was rocky, and then it was a little calm when you go through. So if you ever Google Marble Caves online, it's these caves, and there's something with the water that hits the light and the pigmentation of the rocks, and the colors look blues, purples, reds, yellows, and turquoise, and it just brightens. And I'm sure most people use saturation on their photos, but it's phenomenal. But when you get out there, when you see it with your own eyes, you're just like, wait, this doesn't match the photos at all. They don't. It's like, where's the pretty colors?
Oh
So it's
my
really cool
gosh.
caves. But then if you do take it through the camera, it's the one time where the camera actually sees better than the human eye sees.
Okay.
And it was a really cool adventure. So you take the boat out there, and then you get to actually boat through the caves, and then you see them, and there's a bunch of strings of them. So it's a really interesting thing. And then I wish I would have known. So you can research and you can plan, but you cannot know everything. And so since we had planned this schedule to get somewhere else and had this plane ticket, we couldn't stay an extra day. And we'd actually brought hitchhikers from our hostel the day before down there. They had nothing going for them, so they stayed an extra day because there's a glacier nearby where you can walk. And it's the kind that's the circle, and you can just see all around you.
Cool.
And it's lesser known and cheaper to get to than the most popular one, which was Perito Morano, which is the one that we also saw that everybody knows about. But this one's really, really small, lesser known, but you can walk and explore more on it, which is amazing. And I wish we would have done that, but they ended up doing that. So that's also why don't plan. There's always cool things to do.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh,
that's amazing.
But
and I wish we had more time with you, Em, because our 7 minutes are up, and there's so much in there in this story. I'm just going to ask, how long were you there? How long was your trip?
I think 5 weeks. I never travel shorter than
5
4.
weeks.
5 weeks?
Usually 4 or 5 weeks.
Okay.
It's the perfect time
good
to see
for
a
you,
country.
because like you just have, that's a wonderful amount of time. And so you just sort of have one story after the other. What adventure and, craziness. Sounds wonderful. And I love that you travel in hostels, because I'm a big fan of this myself. It's so much more fun when you interact with other travelers and like that, get tips and suggestions from folks and get to fly.
Yeah.
So that's our 7 minutes. So thanks, Em, for sharing your story. We have a new question and answer series. So for those of you watching, if you look on our description, there's a link there to ask us a question and we'll answer them, and travel with us through real stories from real people. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Em.
Bye. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Em.